Got my copy.
Okay.
How? I guess I need to pull that up to see how many we've got now.
Not many.
We got more than three though, so
Okay. Good.
It's a win.
Good.
that's yeah,
Yeah, you can only expect so much when everything's been dormant and fell out of algorithm.
Uh-huh.
exactly. But it's not three.
Now, post details.
We have 19.
We
Oh wow.
do? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
18. Because there's one that I put keep remind or yeah. So
It's a joke. Us three as the winners.
you get a car. You get a car. And you get a car. Let's see. Oh shit. That's all right.
It's funny. I posted that picture on Friday, like saying cheers. Ton of shared the live, like nothing.
Ugh. Yeah. Okay. We are starting to go to Facebook right now. And I've got a feed. Going for YouTube. And seems to be working well enough. I'm calling this season 2, episode 1, just because it's kind of a new thing for us. So, do- okay. Well, it doesn't like the resolution, but the resolution is going to be what it is.
We'll make it.
Yeah. Well, and it's a face or it's just YouTube. Facebook seems to be just fine. So, okay. So, let me turn that on, just that I can know that that's active. And yep. Okay. All seems to be well there. Let me bring up. Oh, we've got comments here. Let me go. There you go. Okay. And we do not have any viewers yet.
Are
So
we on?
we should be live. Yeah, we
Okay.
should be live.
I didn't get a notice or anything that we were. That's why I wondered.
Well, that's a good thought. I'm also going to get onto our Instagram here real quick while we're waiting. Hey, Instagram, head over to our Facebook page and join us for season 2. We are going to do a little bit of a new thing. I'm all set up with my rig over here, mind the wires and all that. But we are recording our sessions live, at least for a little while. So come go over to the Keto Man's Club podcast Facebook page. TheKetoMansClub.com has a link to that. And join us for a live podcast recording starting anytime now. We're just waiting for a couple people to roll into the comments and then we'll get going. So hope to see you there. Head over to the Facebook page. We'll see you there. Corey and Keep Austin Keto join me in that for a second. So, no, I want to keep it. Let's share that. Okay. Maybe that will drive a little bit of engagement. Yeah, right now, no viewers.
I don't even see it popping up on the Man's Club page.
Well, everything shows that it should be live right now.
Excuse me.
Okay, let's do this. So the event should link to this live with the way that I set it up, but who knows?
It's working page, but it's not.
Yeah,
That's the only place
that well, that's what's hosting it, but we're trying to pull people to that from the groups. If I could if I could stream to multiple Facebook feeds, I would, but it doesn't allow me to do that without a secondary system. Yeah.
There's probably a bunch of people in the Man's Club like, what's going on?
Yeah. And this is the first time, so they'll give grace. Okay, so this is what I'm going to share. There we go.
Excuse me. All right, I've got 19 submissions for the book, counting the people who commented and the people who were tagged. So I've got them numbered randomly. We'll post it up, or I'll show you guys after you guys pick numbers here in a little bit.
Okay.
That way, it's all on the on the level, on the up and up.
Awesome. Okay, this will probably link more directly than the event will, so this will be good.
Hello, that was a ghost.
That was my dog. Party girl. Party girl.
Oh, I thought it was like a
No, that
door
was
and Vincent Price in the
that
background.
that came out the wrong side of her body.
Oh, that's that poor dog. No, I'd make that sound too if that was. That dog needs keto.
Okay, so I posted in both groups the link directly to the live. They should even be able to hit play there and be able to watch it right
I
there.
see something.
With that
Yeah,
type
I
of
got that
embed.
now.
Okay. Well. Yeah, I will probably start these feeds 10 to 15 minutes early going forward and try to get people in queue ahead of time so that we're not waiting around.
You know what? It's the first time.
I know.
We're just having a good time.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Okay. And then I never did add that. Okay.
We
Well,
know
I'll
that
add
Carl
in
K is
post.
probably in bed right now because it's 6 hours, 7 hours time difference.
Yep.
So he's
Yep.
sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
That one Greg dude that we don't like to talk about because he microwaves brisket is probably standing in front of the Amana watching it spin and turn.
That's hilarious.
Brett Stapley is probably making another TikTok compilation because he's a 13-year-old girl. I love it, but so
Yes.
let's just be
Yes.
honest. We know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
We've got. They're busy. They're doing important things.
Whatever you say. Whatever you say. Trying to think who else. Let's see. John, the Mighty Oaks, is probably prepping for his next Disney adventure. Trying to think who else.
Okay. So let's. Okay. So now that I've got chat messages sent out and everything, let's go ahead and get started with the more formal recording process, and then we will.
I thought I
Were we
just gave you all
supposed
my
to
A
pick
material, man.
shout-outs?
I think I
Yeah.
was like,
Well, sorry.
So were we supposed to pick shout-outs? Because I totally didn't pick one.
I didn't
I have.
either.
Yeah, I haven't. Let's not worry about it this week. Let's aim to keep it to about 30 minutes at this point. That will keep within the 45-minute goal that we talked about last week, and then
Yep.
we'll go from there. Okay. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Keto Man's Club podcast. My name is Chris. I'm one of your hosts, and as usual, and as we hope to keep it usual, I'm joined by Jim and Berto, and we are back shooting live on Facebook and YouTube a new season. A new season of the Keto Man's Club podcast. We're trying to keep the post production down a little bit on some level. We still are going to have produced episodes, but they're just going to be a little bit different, probably a little bit shorter, and all of that. So it's gonna be good. Jim, let's catch up with you first. How's life? What's new?
Well, number one, you said shorter, and as I'm looking at the screen, you're like a foot and a head taller than Berto, and then there's Berto, and then like my forehead is not my most attractive feature, and I have very few and far between. But it's like all of a sudden I'm like right here. So anyway, happy 2022. It's all right. Trying to go with the attitude of gratitude this year. Trying to find positivity and everything. The last year, no doubt for anybody listening, probably could be summed up in the word sucked. Yes, there were a lot of good things, but this pandemic and all the other stuff, and it's just kind of frustrating. So hopefully we're on a better path going forward. I haven't had barbecue in a while, so I'm in a little bit of withdrawal, but it's okay. So how are things in Texas, gentlemen?
Cold for us, but
here we go.
not nearly as cold as everywhere else. So
It's
yeah,
68 degrees and I'm chilly.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that if the weather drops below, break out all my winter gear, not because I'm cold, but because the opportunity to wear it is so rare that I just got to take advantage
Fair.
and do it. Like I'm not cold right now, but I have this hoodie I
Mm-hmm.
rarely wear, so I put it on.
Yep.
Whereas
Yep.
in Indiana, southern Indiana today, this afternoon it was 47 degrees, and one of my coworkers came in a short sleeve shirt, and he's like, "It's swimming weather." Probably not, but okay, we'll roll with it for the time being.
Yeah. We. I. It, our low tonight will be 39. I think is what I just saw.
Oh,
So, yeah.
oh,
Oh.
bless your heart, as my grandmother would say.
I will sleep with a comforter and a fan on.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So, Berto, how's life being Coach Berto?
It's going good. Actually, had a client from overseas, Saudi Arabia to be exact, which was the timing was a little awkward with that one because there's a huge time difference, and so basically we were only awake for about 5 to 6 hours. Hopefully, I got him on the right path. He's another guy with gut issues that surprisingly found my Ketocon speech from a couple years ago and hunted me down that way. So worked with him. Hopefully, got him on the straight and narrow. I'm still going to be reaching out to him every once in a while to make sure things are going well for him. But yeah, it's going good. The upside is the grand plan is working. I'm slowly stepping away from spraying and painting car stuff as my side gig and leaning more into this coaching thing because it's let's face it, it's a lot healthier like, in every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's working out. I mean, I have a few openings right now if anyone's interested. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep plugging away.
Awesome.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
We need to
Yep.
get you a whistle. Get you the coach's whistle.
Oh yeah, right. I should have had a prop whistle. Just keep it right here.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, for me, I've been continuing to grow my podcast studio, keeping very busy with that. Kind of like I said in the intro of the episode that I released last week, so I've just been insanely busy trying to keep up with things, and I'm almost always constantly a little bit behind. As long as I'm only a little behind, I'm okay with that. Catching up and when I can and all that type of stuff is all that's really that important for me. But yeah, it's life is good, keeping very very busy, but that's pretty much how I like it. So we'll keep with that. Um, so Berto mentioned KetoCon, so let's mention it again. KetoCon is on this year in July in Austin, Texas. We want to see everybody that we can down here, and we're working with the KetoCon folks. We've got a couple tickets that we're probably going to be giving away as a contest, and then we've got. We're going to be there. We've got a session that we are hosting. We don't know yet fully what it's going to look like, but it's probably going to be a panel discussion of some sort, and it's going to be great. Super exciting to get to for me the first time present something or be part of a presentation at KetoCon instead of just being behind the scenes, kind of helping with making sure that people are where they need to be and that the people. The attendees have the information they need and stuff like that. I've been behind the scenes in other capacities, but this will be a good new thing for me in that regard. And it will be just great to see everybody, which is the most important thing for me. Is just get to be in person with real people, and I think that's going to be great.
But if they want to go,
Yes, if you want to
discount
go,
code
discount code KMP. Yeah,
JMCP.
KMCP. We do TKMC like I've got on my hoodie. So often I have to if for Keto Man's Club podcast we did it differently and yeah I've got to keep up with that. But yeah, KMCP is the discount code. I believe it said 10% off. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah, and
Yeah.
as you want to get your tickets early because that promotional rate, as we get closer to it, it starts dipping down a little bit. So right now it's
Yep.
at 10%. So
Yep.
yeah,
Very good. And so, yeah, definitely we want to see as many people there as possible, or here, I should say, since we're both in Austin. And it'll be great to see everybody and get to have plenty of barbecue together in person. And you guys that haven't been to Texas and haven't gotten to experience Texas barbecue, you'll get the chance to potentially do so, and that would be good. Okay, so any other business? Do we want to go into the cookbook giveaway, or do we
We
want to do
could,
that last?
we could split it up. We could do one now, one a little
Oh,
bit later, and a
oh,
third one at the
okay.
end.
Well, let's do that then. That sounds
Okay.
fun what would be the right word for it? Yes, the Keto Diet for Beginners cookbook, which kind of is coming through clearly on Jim's camera. That's
So
kind
I
of
really
a
wanted to
little weird.
flip it over so that you could see it the right way, but that wouldn't work. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm kind of stupid tonight.
Yeah.
So, cookbook, what we're going to do is we put a post up on Instagram that we ask people to tag a keto fan and whatnot. And you just like our page or like our Instagram profile. And we're going to give away 3 books. What we're going to do is pick our winners and then reach out to them and get their shipping information. Berto and Chris are going to go deliver these face to face with their whistles and everything. No, I'm kidding. We'll send them through Amazon or some way to get them to the folks' front door and hopefully get photos with the lucky winners in that book by our friend Frank Campanella, aka the Culinary Lion.
Yep. Very much so.
So who wants to pick? We have 19 names. And I randomized them on a sheet of paper, so you can't see it, but yeah, they're all randomized. So, Chris, since you're the one that makes the sound good, I'll start with you. You get to pick a number between 1 and 19.
Let's go with 7.
7 is Hack My Keto on Instagram.
Cool.
And I feel like I know who that is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Do you guys remember who
Okay.
Hack My Keto is?
I know the
That's
name.
a typical Instagram problem.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bringing
oh, I
it
know
up
him,
right now.
but who is it?
Yeah.
Mark.
Mark from
in
California?
Canada.
Oh, Canada. Well, that's CA.
It counts.
Yep. So, yeah. I'm not sure how to. Yeah, he's down 100 pounds. He's done awesome, and he's got some fantastic food on his Instagram feed. So yeah,
He's
he's
got
gonna take.
fantastic followers too.
Yeah, he's going to 10,000 of them. In fact,
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, he's gonna be able to take advantage of Frank's cookbook. I am positive. So yeah, awesome. Congrats to Hack My Keto. That will be great. So we asked the group about topics that they would like us to kind of talk about, and one of them was when are we going to release the nipple shirt, which the Jason correctly asserted that more than likely that's going to be something that is going to just be an aftermarket mod. That's just going to be what it's going to have to be. So that will be that. But the other suggestion for a topic was to talk about getting back on the wagon and something beyond just the similar do it, rough it up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps thing. And I'll be honest, I need this discussion just as much as anyone, because I've been on the struggle bus in that regard. But yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Berto, what's your go-to thoughts on such things?
I was going to go with what you said. Just get back on the wagon. Start with your next meal. Blah, 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 blah. It's not always that easy. Everybody struggles with it. And even like I've hit a phase, I've been doing this in maintenance for over 5 years now. And so I started allowing myself more keto carbs than normal, 40 to 50 grams of total carbs with as much as active my job is. But I quickly know started creeping. You don't pay attention, a little bit here, a little bit there, and they start creeping up there. So it's like I had to rein things back in. But first and foremost is awareness. You got to be aware of what you're doing, aware of why you want to make the switch. I always say tracking food is a huge tool because it's a real pain in the butt. And if you can stick to tracking being a pain in the butt, it's like you almost have to like earn what you're going to eat. Like, are you going to go to all the trouble of scanning it and entering it and weighing it out before eating it? And then, that about your food choices. So that to me is a quick little easy one where like if I really got to tighten things up, and I recommend people track hard, track every, even if you're drinking it, track every, at least it gives you that a little extra time to think about what you're doing, and then you got to physically scan the product or physically enter the product. And if it's something you're not supposed to be eating, then there's a lot of pathways and plenty of opportunities to talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to go. Jim, your thoughts?
Yeah, that wagon collapsed on the way to the Oregon Trail, kind of thing for me. About a month and a half, 2 months ago, I got dysentery. It died. I'm using a very bad '90s game or computer game reference. So those of you kids out there, you'll have no idea
I
what
get
I'm
that
talking about.
reference.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you must stop for 3 days to cross the river. So yeah, I'm on that, and we talked offline a week or so back. How in this group, what are we going on now? Year 5-ish of 4 or 5 of Keto Man's Club.
Seems like it.
It was April 2017, 2016. I'd have to look now. But the group started with that idea of having a little bit higher level of information about keto and not the standard, what do I get at Starbucks? How many eggs can I eat? Because that's all I really think keto is. Or how much bacon can I eat? Because that's all that keto is. And it's so much more than that. So yeah, it's just it's the regroup kind of thing, and then embracing it and going with it. So I think that, as I said at the beginning, the word of last year was kind of sucked. And you get into the lockdown and the inability to do what most people do to enjoy life and have dinner with friends or go out with friends or whatever. So you find your comfort foods, you find your opportunity to just sit at home and veg out, like, oh, I can push it off another day. But as Berto said, it just creeps up on you, and so on. And so I'm over the creep right now. I need to get back on track and get things in gear. But all that said, there are a lot of people out there who listen to the podcast, who are in the groups and whatnot, who struggle with a lot of things. And if one meal a day is keto, that's better than none. If you walk an extra half mile a day because you didn't do it the day before or whatever, that's moving forward. So don't think that you have to do those New Year's resolutions and hit a gym on day one and drop 50 pounds in a week because that's what you saw in some TV ad. That's not how it works. It's not how any of this works. It's an ongoing day-to-day process. Off my soapbox.
John Oakes over on YouTube is telling you that it's a brilliant analogy using Oregon Trail. So he liked
you,
it.
John.
And once again, he got that analogy or that reference.
I'm still trying to figure out YouTube. We're chatting live, everything. So
yeah, if you're on Facebook, we are also streaming to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, we're also streaming on Facebook. Just kind of being all the places right now. And then we'll have a finished version of the video that probably just chops off the beginning and whatever tail end gets recorded, making it really simple in that regard for the video side. Berto, you said you put in our chat that you had some other thoughts.
Getting back on the wagon, like nobody has had it easy the last couple of years. Like, even if you had it great, it's not as great as it was prior to that. So it's gotta be realistic. Everybody's had more stress in their lives than usual. I don't know anyone who's had it like just a gravy train for the last couple of years. It's been hard for everyone, so don't beat yourself up about it. It's normal, and be aware that typically when you start the second time, it's not as easy as the first time for whatever reason. You just don't have that instant reaction. You don't have that instant flush that gets you all excited. It's a little more consistency. but it's 100% doable. And like Jim was saying, I was talking to a buddy the other day. And he's like, "Well, I can only make it to the gym once a week." I'm like, "Well, once a week is 100% more than 0 times a week." So
Yep,
like, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Baby
for
steps,
sure.
and just you got to keep forward and keep your eyes on. Yeah, I mean, like I said, nobody's had it easy, so it's nothing to beat yourself up over.
Yep, I would agree, and that's where I would probably pick up on. There's been a lot of additional environmental stress that we've all been dealing with in the last couple of years, given the global state of things, and there's no easy way around it. That life is just kind of sucky in a lot of different ways for almost everybody, and so having less control than we may have had in the past over our environment, over our day to day, and things like that is a completely understandable element that can be added to why it's harder to stay on the wagon and harder to stay on task and such and all of that. So that for me has been a major contributor. And the thing that I would suggest, and this is the thing that I'm actively doing, is get the help that you need to manage that stress, whether that be a professional counselor, psychiatrist, psychologist, meds. I'm actually looking at trying to manage my ADD, ADHD. They don't call it ADD anymore, even though they've just put everything into the bucket of ADHD, and then there's multiple types of it now,
Mm-hmm.
apparently. And so I'm looking into that, pursuing that as a potential thing to help me be able to manage things on a biological level a little bit, even if it's just for now, even if it's just for a little while until I have a bit more control and can get back to. Because I took meds in late elementary and middle school, and that taught me what it felt like to be clear minded and that type of thing. And then I was able to get off of those meds and continue to just manage it through managing it one way or another. And so I think that that is a perfectly acceptable thing to do if you need to. Jim, you've talked about it before, but you are on a few meds to help manage some of the stress and
Oh
the
yeah.
things that and that's just sometimes necessary. And as men, unfortunately, there is a stigma that, oh, we can't have emotions, we got to be these rocks, and we got to, no, feel the feels, get the help that you need.
Yep.
And I preach that, and yet I still struggle with fighting that
Oh yeah.
internal thing.
We can talk about it all we want. We can be the best givers of advice and everything, but it's hard for us to take advice as well. So yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's why kind of have to look at those medicines and things as a tool, just like a dumbbell, a jump rope,
Yep.
tennis shoes, whatever. It's a tool to get to where you need to be. So
Yep.
there's no problem in using that to feel better and get better in whatever way, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yep. 100%.
Where did our third gentleman go?
I think Berto had to step away for a second.
Did he really
He
go get the
muted.
whistle?
He yeah, probably. He muted his mic and turned off his camera, so I'm guessing that he had to step away for a second. But while he's gone, Jim, go ahead and pick your number.
Well, that's not really fair because okay, I'm not looking at it or anything. So we, again, for those of you just joining us here, so we've got Frank Campanella's book here, The Culinary Lion, and we are giving away 3 copies to some of our Instagram followers and people who got tagged in that. So we've got 19 entries. Chris picked number 7 a few minutes ago. Um, let's go with, let me think. I've got a picture of myself on my 13th birthday in my kitchen. So I'm going with 13, which is um, depressed to determined. Speaking of mental things and whatnot. And I know that
Hmm.
one is one of our guys. And Let me double check myself here. Um, oh, come on, come on, come on. Where did you go? This is what live television is like, folks. Only it's live. Oh, I heard. Did I hear Berto? No, no,
He
that was your
exited,
laugh.
and he's yeah, that was me.
Okay.
But he'll be back here in a second.
All right. Well, it's number 13, which is looking at my cheat sheet here. Oh, come on. Makes for riveting television, everybody. I know. Depressed, number 2, determined. And I feel like I know who that is. So, yeah, you'll get some love here with a copy of the Easy Keto Diet for Beginners by Frank Campanella.
Yep,
So,
he was
two
he
down.
was he was tagged by Bev Grevington. So
Oh, punk. It's all in
yeah,
fun. It's an inside joke
yeah.
that's gone on for way too long, but we got to keep playing it. So, welcome
Well,
back
we
to the cold
haven't done
weather.
this in
Sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
no, we haven't done this in so long. We got to refresh ourselves on the inside jokes, right?
Yes. I was going to ask Berto if the cold weather broke his internet.
Shit. But I'm back, so
Oh, goodness.
it is all good.
Okay.
So,
What did I miss? I'm just joking.
well, we kind of we've kind of I think we wrapped up our thoughts on getting back on the wagon, at least for right now. My request to our viewers and to our podcast listeners, in the comments of the video, even if you're watching it after the fact, leave what's helped you, whatever strategies, whatever techniques that you've used to get over that hump, to get onto back on plan and stay on plan. Whatever's worked, share that in the comments, and that way other people can see your thoughts and your experience, and maybe be able to apply that to what they can and will do. So that would be great. So that said, let's go ahead and start winding down. We're trying to keep these a little bit shorter, just to keep these coming out. And our plan is to do these every other week. So for those of you that are watching this after the fact on our Facebook page or on YouTube, plan for February. Let's look at the calendar here real quick, make sure I quote the date right. Look for us to be live again at the same time, which is 7 o'clock Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. I think we have to update the event in the Facebook page for that. But that would be the 22nd. So Tuesday the 22nd is when we'll be planning to go live again, and we'll be on, and that's just going to help us keep the wheels turning around here at the Keto Man's Club. We are currently talking with a couple of people regarding sponsorship. We're still interested in that because we want to do more produced episodes as well, just not as many of them, basically. And that will be the sponsorships will help defray some of the cost of hosting and production and things like that. Merch, I do have a new platform that we're going to use that is free to use, which is a nice thing. And so we are going to be working towards getting that set up. And once that is set up, I'll put our current designs out there. I'm wearing one of them, our Life Cycle hoodie. That's one that's not actually available right now, because the design's a little more complicated and whatnot. But if there's interest in it, leave that in the comments as well, because I can get it done. I just need to go about getting it put together, and that'll be good. Whatever your ideas are for that. I did have one idea, and I really like it. It's just a matter of figuring out how to implement it, of like a steak with TKMC seared into the steak. and that was an idea that was passed off to me. So just need to work out the visuals of that and figure out how that would work visually and what. And now that I can do color with the new printing process that we have, which isn't printing at all, we can do something like that. I just need to make it work pretty much. So that's a good idea that was submitted. If you have other ideas, feel free to share those. Okay. Any other thoughts or comments before we shut this down? Because we're rapidly coming up on 7:45.
Let's give away another
I need
book.
to pick a number.
Yep. Let's do the last one. Berto, you need to pick a number.
So we've given away books or number 7 and number 13, and we've got 19 options. So 7 and 13 are taken. Berto, pick a number, any number. The number 8 is we definitely know this guy, Mike Gorman. Gormy Goes Keto.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Okay, very
18.
good. I have tagged and commented to each one of these people. We've got a message from one of them already, which is great. And then I will make sure that I get one to Mike so that he can have that, and then we'll get them taken care of. So if you are watching this and you did win, message us and get us your information. We'll get that sent out to you as quickly as we can.
we could even send you a free T-shirt if you do like a major jumping up and down video and screaming and hollering and all the fun, cool things. So, just saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, that brings us to the other giveaway. We're trying to get some reviews for the podcast. So if you leave a review for the podcast, take a screenshot of it with your phone or with your computer, post that to social media or the Facebook group or something like that, and tag Jim Berto, myself, or the podcast in your post, and we'll send you one of our decals that has the TKMC logo. And for once I run out of those, I'm going to pick one or two random people to get some merch and be able to get a shirt or a hoodie or something. So leave a review for the podcast. We will have a link in the show notes for the podcast. That's probably the easiest way to do it. I'll try to link it in the description of the post after this it gets locked in as well, because I have one of those lying around. So we'll do that. Well, gents, it's great to get back in the saddle and get to hang out with you guys. Hopefully we will see as we get into this more regularly, we'll be able to get more interaction and be able to really dig in and enjoy doing more live episodes, being able to connect with our community. Sometimes we might even, like on the fly, if there's someone in the comments, we can invite them to join us and catch up with good friends and things like that. Do quick little things like that.
You need to put the caveat in, they must be clothed.
Yes, well, at least somewhat.
Yeah. You know who I'm talking to out there.
Yes, a certain gentleman in California.
Just saying. Saying.
No, that's a good call out. Yeah. Shirtless is one thing.
Everything
That's
else
another.
is yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Cheers.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, let's call it there. Thank you for watching, listening, joining us once again as we enter into season 2 of the Keto Man's Club podcast. If you didn't win and can, go out, get a copy of the Easy Keto Diet for Beginners cookbook. It's awesome. Frank did a fantastic job on it. Lots and lots of great stuff in it. So definitely something that you will.
I'm not a Vanna White. I'll just put it down.
It's all good. It's all good. Definitely get yourself a copy if you haven't gotten one already. It's been out for a little while now, so but Frank said that there's a steak cookbook on the way. So, maybe sometime soon we'll see that, and we'll be able to promote that as well.